Midnight Romance in Hagwon was a light in the very dark tunnel of dramas in 2024. First, I'll give a recap of things that happens in the drama. So Jin is a teacher at Dechiche's Hagwon. Hagwons are after-school academies that students attend to give themselves an edge in various subjects, things like music, dance, learning instruments included. Hyejin teaches Korean language and is the star teacher at Dechiche's, so her face is the one plastered over most of their ads and things like that. Because over the course of her time there, she's improved many previously poor performing students and gotten them admitted into prestigious universities. You don't achieve success like that simply by saying,
maybe I just gotta wish harder.
So she has basically no life outside of work, as all of her time is devoted to preparing lessons and mock questions and attending to parents and giving lectures and things like that. Enter Rizzy Rizentin Ijuno, a former student of hers early in her career, who was her first foray in turning dust into gold. He has long graduated and is now working at some company. He's tired of corporate life and realizes that climbing the corporate ladder and eventually making the big bucks that he wants to make is going to take literally his entire lifetime. Relatable. So he decides to switch careers. And would you believe it? At this exact moment in time, Dachi Chase, where Hyejin works out, puts out an ad wanting to hire new teachers. I wonder what could possibly happen. With her experience in teaching and knowing how much time and effort and scheming it took her to succeed and stay at the top of her game, Hyejin is adamantly against Junho leaving his very secure job to become a Hagwon teacher, where unless he becomes a top star like herself, he will not be making the big bucks that he's dreaming of. Eventually though, she thaws and begins showing him the ropes. He's very eager to learn, but also he's like,
my flame burns for thee.
The conflicts that arise between the two come from their differences in personalities and experiences. Hyejin is the more jaded one. The romantic and emotional approach she had back when teaching Juno is long gone. It's not so much her not having rose-tinted glasses. It's more that the roses have wilted and turned to manure. Her goal now is to get as many of her students into the most prestigious universities possible, and she has perfected her lessons and her ability to predict exam questions to achieve that goal. Juno is the more optimistic one. He's more concerned with making the students fall in love with the subject and understanding the core concepts of it. And with that knowledge, whatever question they are confronted with, they'll be able to do justice to. Now, this is technically the better approach, but anyone in education will tell you that this is also the more time and energy consuming approach. The biggest conflict of the drama revolves around a new Korean language teacher, Mr. Pyo Sang-sop, who is transferred to a school where many of the students attend Hyejin's lectures. He and Hyejin get into an altercation because of a question that he sets on a test. Their conversation reveals a tension that exists between Hagwon teachers and school teachers. You see, the school teachers kind of look down on the Hagwon teachers for not being professionally trained, and also because the Hagwon system is kind of commercial and profit-oriented. But also, there's resentment because for so many of the students, their school teachers are just there to set exams that promote them to the next class and also fill out their report cards. Their Hagwon teachers are the ones that they depend on to predict their school teachers' questions, help them pass those, and then eventually help them pass their college entrance exams. You see scenes in the school where students are just straight up sleeping during class, showing the lack of regard that they have for their school teachers. If I absolutely had to nitpick, I would say I wish we had more scenes of our main couple being a couple. Initially, after they get together, we have scenes of them being lovey-dovey, the chemistry is chemistry, everything is great, but later on, we get to see them less and less like this. Yes, they're together on screen, but they're mostly being professional or plotting. I just wish we had more romance? The director of this drama, An Pan-sok, definitely has a style that shines through in whatever he directs. You watch One Spring Night, Something in the Rain, Secret Love Affair, and you can tell that it's his work. I feel that rather than creating beautiful romantic scenes, he aims to show the beauty and romance in the small, little, everyday things, and he nails it every single time. He's the sole reason I started watching this drama in the first place. I wasn't familiar with the writer Park Hyung-hwa or either of the leading actors, but once I cited his name, this immediately became a must-watch for me. I love the writing in this drama. The dialogues are sparse when the situation calls for it, and vice versa. No cringe inducing dialogues that make you wonder if a rabies infected raccoon on hallucinogens wrote it. And yes, there have been dramas that I've watched that invoked that thought. The characters are nicely layered, complex, and interesting. Take the character Ijuno for example. He could have very easily come off as cringe, but because of the way the story presents him and also because the actor is excellent, he comes off as earnest and adorably optimistic instead of brash and stupidly naive. Seo Hye-jin too is fast becoming one of my favorite fictional female characters. She's one of the few characters that I can actually say is a strong person. You see it in the way she handles not just herself, but other people in situations that can be difficult and uncomfortable. It really makes you think, damn, this girl has been through some shit in life. I also really love how the writing explored the Hagwon and school dynamic and how it doesn't demonize or idolize either one. You see things from the school teachers' perspectives, you also see things from the Hagwon teachers' perspectives. And in the end, the people I ended up sympathizing the most with are the students. Unlike with some dramas where things progress as if the writer is ticking off a to-do list of very expected and common tropes, everything in this drama felt like a natural progression. It didn't even feel like the writer was trying to subvert expectations or anything like that. It just felt like they had a story that they wanted to tell and they were going to tell it. Considering the tone of the drama, screechy, loud, over-the-top performances would have been so out of place because the drama doesn't need those overt, in-your-face performances to communicate with the viewer. Even in the quiet, staid moments where a lot is left unsaid, the actor's body language and eyes deliver a mountain of information to the viewers, and the drama does allow these quiet moments to simmer under the surface and build up until we finally get an outburst of emotion that is glorious and feels right and is in character. I especially love how the character Yoon Ji-seok was portrayed. Even as I was endlessly wishing for him to fall into a pit of vipers, I enjoyed watching the character. You could easily tell in moments where he knew he was being an asshat, but didn't want to let go because of his pride, and that's just damn good acting. Whoever casted Wi Ha-jun and Chung Ri-won as leads deserves to be gifted their weight in gold every single birthday. The chemistry was truly chemistry, and I really loved the various shapes that their chemistry morphed into. Friendly banter, angry screaming matches, sexually tense scenes, serious discussions, and tearful confessions. Any scenes with these two was just delicious. In conclusion, if you're not a fan of slice of life, then this drama might not be for you. But I would still highly recommend you check it out. It's really good.